Hello and welcome to episode 54 of Speak Free with MattyG. This one's a bit of a special one. This is That's Actually Crazy, number 1. I'm joined here by my best mate, Jack Farrell-Hodgetts. How are you, brother?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. And together we are the shit dribblers. We've been putting out some content, some on the streets content together. We talked about doing this for a long time. We were trying to figure out a name. We will explain the name a little bit, because we were going to go with dribbling shit with the shit dribblers, and I was just thinking that's just too much
shit dribble.
Too much shit dribble, too much dribble shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's just go with what we've said, and now let's talk about the. It became our thing. It was your thing at first.
Yeah,
right?
it was. Yes,
it was your thing that you just said. You would go like, I'll do an impression of you.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, ready? You would be like, you would hear something, and you'd be like, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. And then we would start finishing it for each other.
Yeah. So you'd go,
I would say that's crazy and you'd say that's actually crazy, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And then we got it tattooed on us.
We did.
So I've got that's crazy above my left knee, and you've got
That's actually crazy.
above your right knee.
Above my right knee, yep.
And so we got that. So I'm like, that's a good name for the podcast episode. That's actually crazy. So, and we've got it in quotation marks because that's how our tattoo looks as well. So
Yes.
Welcome everyone to the first edition of That's Actually Crazy. We're probably going to do 1 or 2 of these a year. Sort of stole the idea from Joe Rogan with his Protect Our Parks episodes. Obviously, there with his like closest comedian friends. I thought it was best to do it with you. And thank you for coming in and doing it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Jack is always here, by the way. Has been since the Nick Stab episode.
Yeah.
Or whoever maybe the Caitlin. Caitlin was on first.
Yeah, it was Caitlin, and then we had Stav on, yeah.
Yeah. So you were here that day, and you've been to everyone since then.
Yeah.
So it's cool now to have you sort of on camera.
I know, I've been behind the scenes
You've been behind the scenes all the time. None of you knew.
I know, it's just like I've been waiting.
Waiting for your moment.
I know.
Waiting for me waiting for the call.
Here I am.
You're like a rugby league player that's fucking just waiting for the origin call up. Waiting for it. Yeah, you've been playing well. You're in form.
Okay.
Okay, Madge, I'll play for Blues.
100%.
Now we were just going to talk some absolute shit.
Yes.
Originally when we came up with this idea, but obviously some things have happened for us and for me in the past, probably past month or so.
Yeah.
So I want to talk, a bit about that today. And we talked about this before, and we're like, this could really help people, and that's to talk openly about mental health. Sorry, that fucking Red Bull's making me. I need a burp.
Not really like help, but like maybe shed a light on,
Yeah, and I think
everyday struggles.
And hearing like the reality of something is does help people because it makes them feel less alone. It can be such a isolating feeling when you have mental health struggles, especially as a bloke. Like, you want to be that tough guy. You want to be, nothing affects me sort of mentality. And I don't think it's the stigma that causes it. I think that's just ingrained in men as a whole. I think the stigma doesn't help, and there's definitely a need to break that stigma. But I think it is just ingrained in men to sort of just get along, like just get on with it, and keep on keeping on. And I think that can be really damaging to a person who is genuinely struggling. So like we won't go into full detail about everything that's happened, but we had obviously a bit of a moment recently.
Yeah, so we did. Yep, it was a bit of a little sticky situation.
It was a sticky situation for sure. I have struggled with mental health for, probably a number of years, but never really did anything about it. And I think having you as my best mate now and someone who actually genuinely really, really gives a fuck, you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to say you give a fuck about someone, but to consistently show it, to consistently show up, to consistently be there is not an easy thing to do for someone. And I haven't been there for people always, and I understand that it's a harder thing to do than it's an easy thing said than it is to do it. But you have genuinely always been there, and so we had a moment. We won't get into the spare
Specifics.
People the details of it because it doesn't really matter. But obviously it turned into quite a bad argument, and I definitely lost my head. And it wasn't so much like everyone loses their head in a fight, right? In an argument.
Yep.
But the reaction I had was like, it was a moment where I was like, okay, like there's something that's not quite right. I'm not able to logically process this information right now, and it's coming out as pure anger, fear, and whatever else. And at that moment, it was like we talked about this earlier and how like like early on in our friendship.
Yes.
I remember on our way to the Fiddler, and I was telling you about like why I went sober and everything.
Yeah.
And sort of like other things I've, things with drugs and stuff that I've had in my past. And there's a good analogy that's like, if things are just bad, but they're bearable.
Yeah.
Bearable is the worst fucking place to be.
100%.
Bearable is the number one worst fucking place you can be, because what bearable is that it is, you can deal with it. You know what I mean? It's fucking bad, but you can deal with it.
Yeah.
Things need to get really fucking bad.
Yeah.
Hit rock bottom for you to make change, right? For a lot of people.
For you to need that wake up call.
Yes.
You need to hit absolute worst.
Yes.
The stuff that you like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Exactly.
And then it's like just a big wake up call. And,
Yeah.
And that's when you see, oh, I do need to change.
Yes.
But when you're in that bearable stage, it's like, why the fuck should I change if I can deal with it? You know what I mean? Like
100%. And that's what we had.
Yeah.
Recently. And because of how I reacted to something, and I knew there has to be something wrong, right? Like there has to be, my reaction is outweighing what's really going on.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not on par with, okay, like I'm not saying you can never have moments of, if something really fucking bad happens to you, if your child fucking dies, if you're this, you know what I mean? Like these super bad moments, of course you're allowed to have a reaction that's comparable to the situation.
To the situation at hand. But your reaction
was not.
It wasn't.
No. And
I feel like there was a need for our reaction, not the reaction you had.
Yes.
And I think that's the difference.
And it was like, okay, well, something is clearly not right
Yeah.
in my head right now. And also, like, without going into specifics, but during the argument, there was a moment where you looked at me and I could see genuine fear in your eyes. And like at the time, obviously you don't really take that on, but like looking back, I'm like, Jesus Christ, you were actually scared of who the fuck you were looking at that time. Cause it wasn't like,
it wasn't the person I thought I knew.
Yeah.
It was like you just changed personalities. Like,
yes.
It was insane.
Yeah. And maybe insane's not the point.
Oh no, like I didn't mean it like that. It was just like it was very like a step back. I'm like, whoa, like what is actually going on here?
Yeah.
And of course, like we had a couple discussions actually, like throughout the year where you had maybe be suffering from something.
Yes. Yes.
And,
it wasn't the first. It wasn't like it was out of the blue. Like it was just the worst of the worst.
It was just the worst of the worst. And we had been dealing with the stuff before because we didn't think it was anything crazy. It was just, you might be suffering from something. We just don't know what that is.
Like there's a fear of abandonment. There's a fear of there's an attachment sort of issue. And it's like, you can put that down to past experiences and stuff. And that's what I was sort of doing.
Yeah.
But then I thought, you know what? Like I'm actually, there's more times that I'm battling my brain to see the reality of a situation rather than just processing the reality of a situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was always like such a battle, and it still is now. I'm not saying I'm healed, I'm fixed because I've accepted it. Like, but there was like it's a constant battle. It's like, okay, well, you can't react that way. Like, think about it logically, but this, and it's like, and it's like my brain screaming at me.
It was an overdrain of like thoughts and just everything and
overthinking.
Yeah.
Thinking the worst, and it's like I couldn't help but do that. It wasn't something I could control. It was something I tried so hard to control,
and
I couldn't. And it's like, and now like after that, that's probably all we'll talk about, the actual situation.
Yeah, 100%.
People have a good idea, but
but
after that, it was like, okay, like because we, I mean. Okay, for people who don't know me and Jack going a day without talking is unheard of, right?
Yeah.
Unheard of. Like, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, we are in constant contact with each other.
Yeah,
like, and we like it that way.
Yeah,
like, it's good. And obviously, when we get busy at work, we're not like fucking like snapping fucking
or
3,000
even
snaps a day.
Yeah,
you know.
it's just like if we get busy at work, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But there's probably not.
But there will not be a day that we go without talking.
Yeah.
So like after the fight, obviously there was even after that, even after the heat of it, there was still an effort from both of us to go, okay, we need to talk. We need to have a proper discussion.
Yeah.
Let's both calm down and let's have this, right? And we did. We had a really good discussion on the Monday. And then that night, I think it was that night after our discussion in the afternoon, we talked on the phone. I booked in to see the GP.
Yeah.
And got a mental health plan on that Thursday then.
Yeah.
By the way, anyone who's out there thinking like, what the fuck's a mental health plan? I will explain it. Because I think it's important to know.
100%.
So the government will pay for the cost of up to 10 psychology sessions a year. Now, they say they fucking pay for the thing, right? They pay $96 of it, right? So realistically, this is where I see how lucky I am, but where I also have a go at the government. A lot of people that are having mental health struggles are struggling to work, right? Or if they're not struggling to work, they're on lower income because money is a huge stress factor that impacts people's mental health as well. And most psychology treatments out there, you know, to go see a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a fucking this and a fucking that is insanely fucking expensive.
Yep.
Right? So the government, it's nice to get that $96 back, right? But I still had to pay over, you know, $130 out of pocket or whatever.
Yeah, because these guys charge a fortune.
And it only covers you for 10 sessions, right? This is where I draw the line. If we really give a fuck, you know, I'm sick of the fucking government saying, I'm doing more for mental health services than that. You're fucking not, all right? Because... look, I think there is a need for things like Kids Helpline and, you know, fucking Headspace and all that sort of shit, right? 100%. But it's not like an ongoing see a therapist, actually work through. It's like, I feel like it's a Band-Aid fix, right? Yeah. It's like a crisis. It's crisis, right? Support, which is needed. If someone's in crisis and that's all they have access to, 100% it's needed. I'm not having a go at that. But I'm saying if we really actually gave a fuck about people's mental health, I mean, how many people need to commit suicide in this fucking country before the government actually pulls their finger out? And I'm sick of hearing like, you know, a common thing is like, well, then they're going to raise taxes. No, motherfucker. All right, how about we just we just change the way we spend the fucking tax money.
100%.
Because I'm sick of money going to the fucking Ukraine or fucking Israel or fucking wherever the fuck overseas. When we have problems in our backyard, we have 8 people committing suicide every fucking day in this country. Yeah. And the way to actually fix that is to go out and see someone and get a therapist and actually work through problems on a long-term basis. It's not a fucking quick fix, right? 1 in 4 people will go through a mental health crisis in their life or struggle with a mental health issue, right? Whether it be depression or anxiety or whatever the fuck. I'm blessed that I could afford that, right? Yeah. I can afford that. But without the mental health plan in place, like that $96, you know, it'd probably be unaffordable for me as well. So those people who are on very low income and they have to pay whatever out of pocket and only get that $96 back, whatever, it's still not going to cut people. Some people living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people today paycheck to paycheck, and they don't have that spare fucking $100 or whatever, or $150 to go see a psychologist. Yeah, that's food on the table. Yeah,
and that's the thing. That's what I was just about to say. Like, people might be in your situation and they can't even pay that. You know, it's $100. It's not a lot of money, but to some people it is.
Exactly.
And they might need to see someone regularly, and they can't because they can't even afford it. They can't even afford to go see someone. So they're in their own head, and then, you know, like, at the end of the day, they get to that point where they're just like, I'm just gonna,
yeah. And like, I hate to say like it's up to the government to do this, because I'm definitely more libertarian in my values. Like, I believe the government should stay the fuck out of most of our business, right?
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to this, and we're funneling so much of our tax money to all these things that do not fucking matter and should not concern us, and there's so much waste of taxpayer dollars. When it comes to mental health, I'm sorry, but it is fucking it's a necessity.
It is.
It's a necessity.
The suicide numbers in this country is
crazy,
insane,
especially for men.
Isn't like every 2 in 100 people kill themselves or something like that? It's pretty like that. No, that doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a lot.
Is that? But
I don't know if that's an actual. I heard that the other day, but I don't know if that's an actual fact. I'd
have to work it out. All I know is it's 8 people a day on average, and 6 of those 8 are men.
Yeah. So
75% of people who commit suicide are men.
Yeah.
Might have been 9 people a day.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking people, right?
Yeah.
And when you're at that point of your life, it's like if people had access to good mental health care, and also not only that, but once you get a mental health plan, okay, you go see a GP for that, whatever, covers you for 6 sessions, then you need to go back to your GP. That's fine. I'm happy to do that, right? But once you leave that GP's office, it's up to you to find a psychologist.
Yeah.
And good luck fucking finding one. I'm just lucky I got in. But even now, I've had 1 session, right? I've had 1 session and I want to go back and I can't fucking get in.
No.
I can't get in. Like, it's like, so, and that's how it is. It's like, it's just so many hoops to jump through.
100%.
And it could be so much better run because I tell you what, if I was Prime Minister of this country, I'm sorry, I'm not sending any money overseas until I fix the fucking problems here first. And I feel like mental health is one of our biggest issues here in this country.
100%.
It's one of the biggest killers. It honestly is.
With you not being able to, see the person and have another session, for, what was it, for 4 weeks or something?
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks they couldn't get me in for. They've got me on a cancellation list at the moment. They did offer me, I will shout out Unbound Minds at Kingswood. Really good facilities, right? Great facilities. Felt very comfortable there. New facility. It's a good place. It's a good place. And it's not their fault I can't get in, right? Layla, I can say my therapist's name.
Sure.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I think the privilege is for me, not for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. If she's on a podcast and she's talking about me, then we have a problem.
But what was I trying to say, sorry, not being able to get in, I think shows how much of a need to be able to have the money and the support behind, the therapists and even the individuals who are suffering to be there, because you can't even get in locally.
Well, exactly. And not only that, but if the government is putting more money into it, it helps out these facilities too. Do you know what I mean?
To be able to put more staff
on. Yes, exactly. So, look, like, I'm thankful for it. They've got me on a cancellation list. They tried to get me in for a 10 a.m., but I'm like, I've just started a new job, and I'm like, I can't do 10 a.m. I'm at fucking work.
It's not even starting a new job. It's like, it's
just incapable.
Hours. It's incapable. It just doesn't work. And that's what they also don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, they should have these late night sessions, but
exactly, make it more,
available.
Available, yes.
And that's what I think it isn't right now, because so many people suffer and they do the right thing to go get the help.
Exactly.
And you've done the right thing to go get help.
Well, and that's another point I was going to make, is that that's the toughest step you can take, is to go, okay, I actually need professional help. I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you do it, and there's still so many hoops to jump through. It's like no wonder people just give up. No wonder they do it.
Why? Yeah. Why am I trying to go get the help I need if I can't even
access the help?
If I can't even access it. Yeah.
Yes. So, look, I think there's more the government can do. I'm saying, look, it's a start, $96 back per session. It's better than nothing. I'm happy with that, right? Yeah. But when I see money getting fucking put onto all this other shit that doesn't fucking matter, I'm sorry, the government, like, okay, I love my footy as much as the next cunt, all right? Especially from Western Sydney. I fucking love my footy. But I'm sorry, there's so many grounds that don't need fucking new stadiums, right? Built there. Let's put that money into mental health instead. Let's do that. Well, yeah. I mean, CommBank is a nice stadium, right? Nice. And it gets used a lot, so that's a good thing. But like, I just think, I'm not even having got footy stadiums, but like, we did just spend nearly $1 billion on a new Allianz Stadium. And you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many. I think the government's priorities and they're so tied in with all these fucking proxy wars that are going on, and giving our money to that. Like. At the end of the day, like, if we got fucking attacked by someone, who's sending us money? You know what I mean? Like, who is? But is Ukraine going to help us out?
Probably fucking
not. Because
Is Israel going to help us out?
Zelensky's too busy buying his fucking Mrs. Cartier diamonds anyway.
Yeah.
So with our fucking taxpayer dollars. So, anyway, not to get too political, this is Speak Free MattyG after all. But there's just so many, things that the government spends money on that they don't need to spend money on, and I would love to see it. And I honestly think majority of Australians, right, because everyone can get behind a good, better mental health in this country is better for everyone. That's the point I'm trying to make. We're not... Okay, yes, it helps out an individual going through it. But if we help out a fuck ton of individuals, it helps the nation, right? Because who doesn't want to live in a happier fucking country? Everyone does, right?
100%.
And if we need help, if an individual needs help, they should be able to access that help without it running them into the ground financially or not being able to see someone when they need to see someone. There's just so much more that we could do.
Of course it helps now to come out and, support, but coming together as a nation, for all the years to come helps all the next generations, and it fucks off the stigma that has been surrounding us for centuries, to be honest. Obviously back in the day, people didn't realize it. It was more from 1900 onwards, that we've realized, oh, shit, we need,
Especially as things get more, pressures on young people now are so much greater, I believe. And it's mostly due to social media and things like that.
Oh, 100%.
But also because it's so hard to get ahead now, It's so much harder. And I know the adage is boomers will tell you they had it just as hard and we're just a lazy generation. It's just not true, right? It's simply not true. The percentage of wages to be able to afford a home and things or rent compared to most people I know are paying fucking more than half their salary on rent every year.
Yep.
So how are they ever meant to fucking get ahead? And those pressures, they build up and they build up and they build up. And what do they get? What do you get out of it, right? You get further anxiety, further depression, stress,
everyday stress,
right? So
and stuff you shouldn't really be stressing about all the time.
Yeah, especially in a country like we are, the country we are, where we're rich in mineral, we're fucking but
we are just good country.
We are a great country. We're just run by fucking retards.
Yep.
And that's the problem. And
it's been like that for years. Doesn't matter who's
Pauline
in office.
Hanson, please.
One nation.
The one nation, but please, look at me. I've applied to be. By the way, I will say this on air today because I don't care if it doesn't come to fruition. It doesn't come to fruition, right? I was going to keep it a secret until see what the outcome is, but fucking whatever. I don't care. People can know. People can know that I tried.
Yeah, of course.
But I've applied to run as a candidate in the Macquarie electorate for One Nation because I believe One Nation actually has some fucking great ideas for this country and they actually have a vision, unlike the major parties, which are two sides of the same fucking coin, 100%. In my opinion, And so Pauline, please choose me because I would love to take my ideas to the Australian people
to a next level, to be honest.
And I just feel if you feel like anyone watching, if you feel like you can enact change, fucking speak up.
Yeah.
Speak up and let's do this together.
It's all about taking that step.
Yeah.
People just need to take that step. And that's honestly with everything. It's not just about changing your life or anything like that. If you want to be where you are, take the step and have a go. If it fails, it fails.
If it fails, it fails. Exactly. I think everyone's so scared of failure. I failed a million times. I don't care.
I have failed heaps of times. And look where I am now. It shaped me to be the person I am today.
Exactly. Yes. Failure.
You can't have success without failure.
100%. You can't. It's like death and taxes, right?
Yep.
It has to be there.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, what
every successful person has failed more times than you would fucking even
imagine.
Think. Yeah.
It's crazy.
But in terms of mental health, look, I don't want to rubbish. I'm not rubbishing the actual mental health itself, the care, the psychologists and that are doing fantastic work. I'm not rubbishing them at all. I don't want this to sound like that. I just think the government can do so much more.
Yep.
But also in saying that, this is the support we have available now, and I encourage everyone. I don't want that to scare you off going out and doing it, because the fact is that any care is better than no care. And I am, that 1 hour, I've had one 1 hour session, right, so far. Obviously I want more. And I will talk about it on here as well. Like currently, like I'm in the sort of assessment stage with my psychologist for borderline personality disorder.
Yep.
Which makes a whole lot of fucking sense.
It does.
To things, how I've reacted to things, and
the switch up,
right? Like it's intense. It's a very intense emotional disorder.
Yeah.
That is how my brain. Yeah. You know, I don't want to say I don't want to diagnose myself. Right. I'm in the assessment stage of that, so it'll be a few sessions. But where it's sort of pointing towards is, maybe I am struggling with that.
Yeah.
So obviously we'll do by part 2 of this. Hopefully I'll fucking know by then.
Yeah, hopefully.
If I ever get in.
Yeah.
But it has been sort of I think people are scared of having a diagnosis, but the fact is like without sort of that, you don't really have a chance to address it properly.
Yeah. Without the knowing.
Yeah. And now it's like, it's sort of nice to be like, okay, maybe that is the fucking issue.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
And now it's almost like a relief to talk to someone who's a professional in that for an hour and just explain everything that I've been feeling and just be completely open and honest and not sort of like sugarcoat it. I feel like maybe in the past when I've talked to friends and stuff about it, I've been like, maybe like, oh, but this is maybe the reason. And it's kind of like, I kind of try and put the blame on someone else and maybe it's their behavior and it's making me feel this way and that.
But then those people go like, yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah.
They're not like.
They're not professionals,
They're not
right?
like, well, no.
Yeah.
Because people just don't know.
And people like to agree.
Yeah. They love to just go.
Yes. I feel like
yes,
it's a very human, I feel like it's a human nature thing to like, I guess if you don't really like, if you're sort of like just friends with someone, you're not like best friends or you're not like family or you're not trying to like, you'll just sort of agree to shut them the fuck up.
Yeah, of course. Hey, I'm in there.
I mean, I've done it. I've done it myself.
I'm in there.
I'm like, oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, that's actually crazy.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. You do that a lot.
Hell yeah. To this guy.
Yeah, to me.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, when you really like get off the phone, kind of want to play FIFA.
Yeah.
But now like to talk to my psychologist, and honestly that hour flew by. Like it was great, and I think to just not sugarcoat it, be like, okay, this is exactly what I've been feeling. This is the anger I've been feeling over this situation. And she's like, okay, well let's dig then. Let's see why you're feeling this way. And a lot of it is connected to things that happened so long ago that you've suppressed and you don't even know about.
And that's the thing. Like you don't even know that you've suppressed them. Like it's just you've just tried to move on, and it's just I don't know. It's just still there, but
and it comes up then.
Yeah, it just comes up
because it's not dealt with.
Yeah, like unknowingly it comes up in the moments that it happened in the past, and it's like shit.
Yeah. Now I'm affected again.
Yeah. It just it is a lot of, or maybe not a lot, but most like mental health issues do succumb from past experiences.
Yes, and majority of people go through life suppressing,
hoping to just get over it.
Yeah, and you can't get over it. That's my advice to everyone: is stop tricking yourself into thinking you're now okay.
Yep.
When you're not. And I'm not saying to find ways to be not okay, right? I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying if there's been a constant a pattern of behavior or a pattern of things that have gone wrong in your life, and it's due to your way of thinking or your way, my advice is go out and get help. Because
it's not necessarily getting help. I know that it sounds a bit like you need help, gun.
No, but like it is, but you do need help. But it's because you're not a professional. You know what I mean?
But it's just a matter of going to see why.
Yes. Finding the reason why.
Why do I have this pattern? Why am I behaving like this?
Yeah.
And like getting treatment is not a bad thing. Like it was a big step for Matt to, he even posted about it, and, I left him a good message, and it was just, you just got to take that step forward and be like, you got to hold yourself accountable. Like, to be honest, like that's all it comes down to. And it takes a lot of accepting that you are suffering from something, and that was Matt's big step to be like, oh fuck, like it's hard, but like I need to accept that something is wrong, and I do need to go seek professional help, and it's okay to go seek professional help. And that's the thing, people think it's abnormal, weird, like stay away from me, you're crazy, insane, whatever. And that's why there's such a stigma about getting help. Like, it's just, if you're okay with it, the people around you will be okay with it.
Yes.
And obviously, for Matt to have someone like me and for me to have someone like him, like we're constantly there for each other. And that's a big thing. You've always got to have that, like that person, like your best friend, could it be even a family member? There's always got to be that one person that has your back, no matter what. And they will be your biggest supporter and they will back you, 20,000 times. And like, that's the thing, like, it was hard for Matt to be like I need help. And that's why we had, those discussions and that's why we're here now, like with the whole mental health stuff. Like, it's just,
And I think like having you there, especially you, like you have copped it worse than anyone else in my life.
Yeah.
And that's because you are the closest person to me, you know.
And that happens.
And that is so common, right?
It is so common.
But I think to anyone that is struggling, if this is hitting home to you listening, realize that it's really like, if that person's still there, they're a fucking good person, because Jack is still here, and he probably, like, if it was anyone else and the things he's put up with me, if it was anyone else, they might not be here. But there is genuine like our bond is unbreakable, and I think if this is hitting home for you, like anyone watching, anyone listening, like realize that you can't keep hurting the people who care about you the most, and that's what it was for me. It was obviously I was feeling shit about myself as well, 100%, but it's like, okay, I don't want to do this just for me. I also want to do it for you and for other people in my life that like are sort of copying the negativity of this. And, like for me, it's very particular. Like it's probably like, it's a lot of things that I'm dealing with, and it's probably linked to, I don't want to diagnose myself because we're still in that stage, right? So I'll keep people updated. But like at the moment, it's like borderline personality disorder or some sort of personality disorder.
Yep.
Whereas for other people, it may be depression or anxiety, or whatever it may be. But your mental health, more often than not, affects not only you, but those around you as well.
Majority of others around you too. Some people just don't give a fuck. But for the ones that actually...
For your close people, I'm saying. Not the people you just deal with in day-to-day life. Like most people don't give a fuck about any... Like I'll go to the coffee shop and get a coffee, and I'm not thinking about the barista who made my fucking coffee, 100%. Right? Who cares?
Just give me my fucking coffee.
Just give me my fucking coffee. And shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Just put the bags in the chip, bro. To put the chips in the bag, bro.
Bag in the chips.
Bag in the chips.
Bag in the chips. What sort of bag? Imagine that. Go to Macca's and just get a bag of Coke with it. I'd be like, fuck yeah.
Just before, just on what you said, if you can, for the people listening, if you continue to push off and give off negative energy and poor behavior, you'll unwillingly push...
You'll isolate yourself,
Yeah, you'll unwillingly push the closest people and the best people around you away. And obviously, like, that's a big thing, like, not knowing that you're doing that because you're suffering from something. And it's hard because, obviously, when that happens, you're like, you want the person to stay. And it might be a wake-up call because it might be like, fuck, I've pushed them away. I've got to go seek help. And then it's hard because... But I wouldn't say you have pushed me away. Obviously not, because I'm still here.
No, but I would say that in that moment, it was like, maybe I have now. Yeah, maybe I have. Like, that was the wake up.
It was a scary thought, and it's like, because you didn't want me to not be there. And I think that was the biggest thing. Yeah. And you're like, this needs to change. Yeah. So I think that was a good thing. So,
and I think seeing like, in that moment, like seeing that fear in your eyes as well of like, who the fuck am I dealing with right now?
Yeah, it was a thing that you don't want to see in my eyes, obviously, but let alone anyone else. But like obviously more so me, but
exactly. Like I just don't want to be. I don't want to be a negative impact, like
of course,
a negative force in people's life, and without getting help, and that I'm going to keep doing that, and then it's going to impact me negatively as well because you lose everyone, you isolate yourself, and you've got fucking no one, and
people don't want to be associated with you. Like,
and obviously every mental health is different. Like I'm just speaking from my experience with what's going on with me. And everyone has their own story and their own, but the overriding sort of thing the message here is that, you know, number one, if you need help,
get help.
Get help. It's not weak. There's no weakness in it, right?
No.
If you fucking rode your bike, right, and you fucking had a fucking collision with a car and you end up with a broken fucking ankle and broken leg, guess what you do? You'd go to the hospital and you'd get it fixed.
Yeah.
So it's no different to mental health, right? If you're sick, if you have fucking cancer or something, you go and get medical help, right? It is the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You are sick. It's your brain. It's not fucking.
But that's the thing. Like, obviously, you know, with the physical stuff, it's like it's a natural occurrence. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the mental, it's like
because it's unseen.
It's unheard of, really. Like, I don't know too many people, or barely none now, that have had mental issues and have sought help. I know people have, or everyone suffers from mental health stuff. Like, I do too. Like, I'm not going to shy away from it. But I'm one of those people that, I'm better off just dealing it with myself. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very much one of those typical men. Yeah,
but some people don't need help either. Do you know what I mean? Like, some people, I'm not here to say, like, preach that every cunt needs therapy.
Help. Yeah.
Right? I'm not a believer in that whatsoever. I think people can go through periods of depression and stuff and not be clinically depressed, right? Like 100%. Something bad happens in your life, you're down for quite a while, you'd need to build yourself back up. That's a normal occurrence of life, right? Yeah. Life's fucking hard. I'm not saying those people, if you need it, 100% go get it. But I'm not saying you do need it.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
I think that's like a thing. It's like, it's so hard because it's like... one half of me is like, fucking go get help. And then the other half of me is like,
if you don't really need it, then.
But some people don't need it, right?
Yeah.
Like, some people can go through life without it and they can learn lessons themselves and they can get through it. I'm saying if you're struggling and there's a constant pattern of struggle and it's a constant sort of behavior, then go seek help.
And nothing changes no matter what you do.
Exactly. Whereas with you, it's probably more like, okay, you've been down for a little bit, you build yourself back up, you get better, and you know, you learn about yourself, you grow as a person. For me, it was like I'm stuck in this rut, and it's like nothing I'm doing is changing the behavior that keeps. This hole. Yeah, nothing's changing. Yeah. You know, I keep repeating the similar fucking things that have been a problem for me.
That's what the pattern is
for 8 years or 7 years now. You know what I mean? So I don't want to I don't want to preach that every cunt needs help, but if it is a constant, or if you're really struggling with something, and you feel like you can't get through it on your own, and I'm not saying like everyone has that. No, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
you know in yourself you need help.
Yes,
it's not. Do I need help? Do I not need help? You will know.
Yeah, and if it's sort of like it's like it's hard.
It's a hard topic to discuss because it's like.
Because, I don't want to preach, like, to tell people what to do either. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I'm saying for me personally, this is on my personal level, and to anyone else out there that is struggling and they don't see sort of like...
a way out.
Not even a way out. It's like it's something like they need to figure out what's actually going on.
Yeah.
That's what it was for me. It was like, okay, something's wrong. Something's not right. I've struggled, and this is a similar thing that has happened in the past with other people in my life, and it's a reoccurring theme. And I don't know how to fix this. I don't know what's going on. That was when it was like, okay, and I probably had that for quite a while. I probably felt that way for quite a while before what happened, and then I pushed myself to go get that help, but. I think, with people who are something bad's happening in their life and you're a bit down and you're thinking, you're listening to this, you're thinking, well, fuck, I'll get over it and move on. You might. You might. But if there's a reoccurring problem, right, whether it be depression, anxiety, it's stopping you from going out and living your life properly. Yeah. It's holding you back from having close relationships, or it's causing pain to you or those around you, go get help. That's my advice.
Yep. Solid advice.
Yeah.
Damn, I might go get help.
But you know what I mean? Like, the only reason I wanted to really, like, touch note of that is because, yes, like, even people like you, you know, because you said like you're like a typical man. But the thing is like, it's not even a typical man thing. I think it's a human thing. Is like a lot of people can move through shit on their own.
Yeah.
But it's when you can't do that. That's when it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to like hit home because I don't think you've ever been. Have you ever been at the moment of like, fuck, I need to figure out what the fuck's going wrong in my head right now. Like I need like this is a constant thing that's happening to me.
Not personally, no. I wouldn't say that I've been in that position to be like, this poor pattern is not good. I have had some patterns, but like you've said, I've obviously been able to deal with it.
Yeah.
So, but I've never been, I would say, in your situation.
Yeah, and it's not even like my situation, like others, just a situation of like, okay, maybe I need to like get help through this, or what's been there. Like you have quite a like strong, I guess, support in your family and that as well. Like you and your sister, like very close. You and your mum are super close. Like so like
it's just been us three for a long time.
Yeah, for your whole life basically. So you have that really good like support system.
Yeah.
Which is super important to have, by the way. And that's
100%.
another thing we're trying to try and hit home here is that Jack has been that for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're a best friend of someone and you're seeing these, my advice and Jack's advice, you would agree, is just be fucking there.
Yep.
Actually be there. Actually show up.
Yep.
Actually give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to share something on Are You OK Day and act like you care.
Yeah.
Like I know people who have, like, I don't want to say too much negative shit about people. I won't name names, but maybe I will. Nah. Hey, that's crazy. But there's been people in my life who have not been there for me and have definitely like have known struggles I've been going through and have chosen to not give a fuck, who then post something on Are You OK Day, or they say like, it's, you know, support your mates, all that sort of shit.
Or reach out.
And I'm like, you're a fake motherfucker because you didn't do that for one of your mates.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I hate seeing...
It's so rich.
It's so rich. And it's like...
It's a bit of disgusting behavior, to be honest, because...
Yeah, it's just like, I just don't know how people...
lying to yourself.
Yes. And most people get through life lying to themselves.
Oh,
like
100%.
constantly,
And
you
it's,
know?
it's
so
poor. It's poor.
It's shit behavior. But you've obviously been, you know, there for me.
Yeah.
But yes, the reason I was like, wanted to hit home about that is like, because it's like, well, yes, you have gone through shit, and maybe at times you might have been like really, really bad, you know. But you know, I feel like everyone's lives will have ups and downs.
100%.
It doesn't mean you need to seek help. Yeah, like I've said, probably I don't know how many times on this podcast, but
it's a pattern. You need a pattern.
If you're struggling and you can't see a way through, and it's sort of a, you know, it doesn't even have to be a constant occurrence, but if it's really bad and you feel, I feel like you know in yourself when you need help, and it's about, I feel like that's not the hard part. Knowing is not the hard part. It's accepting.
It's accepting it. 100%.
And then doing something about
it. That's what I said before. Because you can know within yourself, but it's actually admitting to yourself, I need to go get help. And then it's the practitioner. Got to look at the psychologist, you know. Like you said, it's all these holes, and some people don't want to go through those holes because they're shit scared. And obviously that.
And it is scary. I mean, when I first walked into that fucking psychologist's office on fucking, when was it? Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah.
I walk in there and I'm like, there's like kids and stuff. Like kids psychology is like, I don't know. It's a big thing. Like obviously because parents are making them go. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's very like, it's normal. I know more kids in psychology than I know adults. Yeah. And so there's this one kid and he's like fucking death staring me as he's sitting in the fucking waiting room, like in the reception area. And I'm like doing these ones. I'm like,
side eye.
I'm like, bruv, like,
stop looking at me, cunt.
Like, bruv, I'm going through something right now. Stop looking at me, cunt.
Yeah. It's just...
And he had like a problem. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. No, I will. Fuck it. It's a joke. It's just a joke. It's a joke, guys. Fucking calm down. Right? So he has like things on his legs, right? So he's obviously like physically like impaired, right? And I'm thinking, if this motherfucker doesn't stop staring at me, I'm going to go make those legs a whole lot fucking worse.
Obviously you wouldn't.
Obviously I wouldn't. It's just a fucking joke for anyone who wants to cancel me.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's like
the awkwardness. It's like
the awkwardness. Like, I'm already feeling awkward. And then I have these little fucking kids staring at me too. And I'm like, fuck me.
Like, stop looking at me, please.
But I must say my psychologist put me at full ease. Like, and it was such a good conversation. And I can't wait to go back. I'm actually like excited because I feel like it is. I think once you get in there, you realize like, okay, it's like.
It's comforting.
Well, not only that, but it actually feels like, for me, I love accomplishing things, right?
Yeah.
Like, I love and it feels like I've started this long journey of accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's almost like starting a fucking sport or something. It's like, okay, I'm at the beginning, like, I'm going to get better and better and better. And it's like, it feels good. Like, it feels good to take that first step, you know? And I feel like, and I'm not saying every therapist out there is fucking amazing. I'm lucky. I hit it off with mine on the first session,
which is,
you know,
a great start.
But I feel like it's a lot due to the patient as well. Like, I'm a very easygoing. I can get along with fucking pretty much anyone. I can yap. I can yap. That's why I've got a fucking podcast, because I don't shut the fuck up.
I know my ears are starting to bleed.
Yeah. Well, how funny is that? Every time I call you and I'm like, just 5 minutes, bro.
Yeah, just 5 minutes.
It'll be like 40 minutes, and I'll be like
40 minutes later, and and that's when I get to the hell yeah.
Yeah, and you end up being like, bro, I need to go. Like, sometimes you'll even be driving home from work and you're just sitting in your car and you'd be like, bro, I need to go inside. I haven't even been inside yet. I'll be like, oh shit, sorry. Fuck.
I'm just sitting in the fucking street. Waiting to go home. And I'm like, this guy's just yapping, bro. What are you talking about? He's talking about tomorrow, and I'm like, can we just talk about it later?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't even got inside yet.
Or I'll even be like on my way to see you, and I'll call you.
Yeah,
you'll be like, bro, why don't you just wait till you get here to tell me these things?
That was like this morning.
I'm like, because I'll fucking forget, cunt.
That was like this morning. This guy called me, and I was just, I don't know. I was in a mood this morning.
You were in a mood.
I was just not having it. I was like, but why are you even calling me right now?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I'm about to see you.
I was like, fuck. Sorry. Oh, that's funny as. By the way, this episode is brought to you by Strider.
Yes.
For a crisp and refreshing taste, try Strider beer. Mate, we're not drinking it right now because I thought we're just about to go to the gym because we're being healthy and shit.
Healthy as shit.
But I don't really want to drink it now. But we will drink it tonight before the Panthers game.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's probably enough on mental health. I think we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I think that's good. If you need the help, go get the help.
Yeah, I'll also put in the episode description just any helpline and all that.
Yeah, perfect idea. Yep.
And I'll also put in information, a link about the mental health plan for everyone.
It'll be good because for anyone in the Penrith area.
Yeah, and anyone feeling like, well, anyone watching, not just Penrith area, but anyone.
Yeah, but I was just meaning for the locals. You know, chuck in the Kingswood one.
Oh, yeah, I'll put in that as well.
Because it's a new facility next to Independent Hospital.
Yes, I'll put in the website for Unbound Minds as well.
Yeah.
Super good facility. Just don't take my therapist because I'm trying to get a 4 p.m. session at the moment. And if I find out one of my listeners has got the 4 p.m. session instead...
Hands on site.
Fucking mate, I'm fucking punching
Hands
on.
on site. I'll be there.
I'm punching on, can't. But yeah, so I will put that in there for anyone struggling. Obviously, it's just the right thing to do. So check that below. And so, yeah, but other than that, you know, let's talk some shit.
Yeah.
Let's talk some shit.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, so I knew your sister, obviously, before I knew you.
Yeah.
And we met, I was photographing an event at the Ricky Inn.
Yeah.
And you came out, you're like, MattyG.
I was like, is this MattyG?
Yeah.
Is this MattyG?
That was good. And then I think, what was it? We had a 21st. I was photographing.
Yes.
You were attending.
Yes.
And I rang you. Remember I randomly rang you on Snapchat or whatever?
No, but...
Yeah.
And
I was like, how are you getting there?
Yeah,
and you're like, I was just about to ask you the same question.
Yeah.
I'm like, how about we fucking drive together? And you're like, yeah, done.
Yeah.
And then so we drove your car in and that. And then on the way back, I think I was telling you about like the Nick Stab episode and you're like...
I was like, I love that car.
I love that car.
Yeah, I was like, can I go?
Yeah, I was like, fuck yeah, you can actually come. And then, yeah, ever since then, we just...
Yeah, we pulled through with each other.
Became best mates.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like after everything we've gone through, and while yes, it was bad, I feel like now we're like at probably the best stage in our friendship.
Yeah, and we got a lot of stuff coming up, you know, together.
So much stuff. We're going to Cairns soon. Chee-hoo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Travis Scott.
The weekend.
The weekend.
Fucking grand final next week.
Fucking...
By the time this will come out, footy would have already been done and dusted.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Go Storm.
We're filming this on the 28th of September.
Go Storm.
All right, calm down. You're in the Penrith district. Do you want to get bashed, cunt?
Pappy.
So you're a South Sydney fan.
I am a South Sydney supporter, yes.
How do you feel about having all that West Tigers shit behind you?
Well,
I forgot to change that to the Baltimore Ravens hat, by the way. But anyway.
As a very best mate that I am, I do too support the West Tigers.
He actually does. He wears a jersey often when we go to games together.
Yes.
Actually, every game we've gone to, you've wore a jersey.
Yeah, because we've only gone to fucking Tigers games.
Yeah,
we've gone to 2 South games, bro.
That's what I mean. I mean every Tigers game.
But yeah, so when we go to the Tigers games, of course I support my best mate's team, obviously. And whatever I fucking knew that was for both our teams.
Oh yeah, 17th and 16th.
At least we're together.
Hey, forever.
Hopefully next year's our year, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Top 2. Yeah,
1 and 2.
Yeah. South's obviously 1.
That's fine by me. I'd rather go into the grand final being the underdogs.
Fair enough. Let's talk about the gear that you have on. United, Manchester United.
So before, now I know like people think like, but you've had soccer people on. Were you sure you weren't a soccer fan? And I'm like, well, maybe you can have a vape, bro. Fuck, it's all good, bro.
No, because you always have it on the table and I never see you pop it.
Oh, really? I was popping it in the first episode.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. I filmed 2 episodes. No, I've already given away that trade secret. But
yeah, she films too.
But I people probably think like, oh, you're a soccer fan because I had some soccer people on, blah, blah, blah. But I honestly wasn't a soccer fan before the start of this year.
No.
Like, I watched like Australia and the Matildas and shit.
Of course.
Like,
obviously.
Just because I love my country. Yeah. But I wasn't really a soccer fan, but I did sort of like when I was younger, I sort of supported
Chelsea.
Well, don't say that on air, cunt.
Chelsea Football Club.
I did, and the reason I supported Chelsea is because I remember when it was like either like pretty much everyone either went for Man U or they went for Chelsea.
Yeah, yep.
So my brother went for Man U, right? So
Yeah.
I was like, well, fuck that cunt. I'm not going for Man U too. I'm going to go for Chelsea. And we used to wake up and watch like the Man U Chelsea game together, like always, right? and then I just stopped watching it. I was like, fuck the soccer shit, whatever.
Soccer's the best sport.
Anyway, so then me and Jack became best mates, and you got me heavily fucking into soccer.
Yes.
And I'm a massive Manchester United fan now.
Yes.
And this is all this jacket.
Massive.
Jack bought me this jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you paid for half. But,
Paid for half.
but you also did just buy me a fucking jersey as well.
Yeah, what was your first jersey? You bought me my first Baltimore jersey.
I did. Yes, he's a Ravens fan.
Yeah, he made me a Ravens fan. I'm not a big NFL guy, but I will be getting into NFL.
Yes. It's always on at shit times.
It is.
10:20 Monday though.
So is the fucking soccer.
Soccer's on at shit times
terrible
too.
times.
But at least they have some games where you can go out on like a Saturday night. Whereas like
yeah, true.
NFL is basically only on a Friday or a fucking Monday.
Yeah, in the mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is when we're at work.
I know.
Like, fuck. But
not the Super Bowl though. We'll be having that day off.
Yeah, 100% can't. I sent it.
Yeah, last Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was with fucking Matty Johns and Cooper Johns hosted a fucking event.
Pretty good scenes there.
And like when you think of like they're hosting an event, you think like, oh, they're gonna come up, do like a speech on like a stage, and then fuck off, right? Yeah. They were around, like, I was just sinking piss with Cooper Johns the fucking whole time, cunt. It was mad. We were having a good chat. We were hanging out with mates.
Yeah, you had it on your Instagram story. You just got a beer.
Yeah, we're literally hanging out just like mates. And like, yeah, I went up to Matty Johns. I fucking got him to skull beer. And he's like, all right, I'll come back. He's like, come back in a minute. I'm just a bit fucked up right now. And I was like, all right, I'll come back in a minute. So I came back and I was like, all right, here's your beer. And he's like, all right, sweet. And he drinks about half of it. And he's like, nah, can't do it. And I'm like, this is why your brother's the immortal. This is why you're fucking nothing. And he was just pissing himself laughing. Like, he's got a good sense of humor. But I'm like, this is why Joey's the fucking goat. You're a weak cunt. I was blind
on and off
as well.
The field.
I was so blind. They were selling these American hot dogs, right? Like all American food. I reckon I smashed about fucking 5 of them, because I was just like, I just needed
5 is crazy.
Yeah, but
5 glizzies? Crazy.
I needed I needed the bread, bro. I needed the fucking bread. Because I was so drunk, I'm saying. You're a cunt.
Sometimes.
You're a cunt.
Most of the time.
You're a cunt, bro.
Back to the United. So this year, but last season, the 23-24 season.
Yeah.
United had actually made the FA Cup grand final. Well, not grand final, FA Cup final. Against Manchester City.
And they lost.
No, they won.
Wait, this time last year?
No, I said this year, but last season.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah, listen, bro. Anyway, 23-24 season.
Right, but they did lose the year before. Hey?
Yeah. So we made it. We made
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
And it was Manchester Derby 2 years in a row.
Yeah, it was Manchester Derby 2 years in a row. Yeah. So we lost 2-1 in the 22-23 season.
And we won
2-1 23 and 24 season.
Manchester is red, baby.
Manchester is red and always will be red. Anyway, we had a great night that night. We went to what was that? Cheers Sports Bar.
Oh yeah, let's talk some shit about those.
So we rock up there expecting it's gonna be a fucking great night. Like it was already a good night. We're a couple boys and we went to line up. And it was a bit strange. It was just all these City supporters lining up. And then
I'm like, where's the menu?
We noticed a security guard turn around a couple of United fans and we're like, what the fuck? Well, maybe they just did something stupid.
Yeah.
He approaches us and he's like, only City fans in here tonight. And we're like, what the fuck?
Well, I don't think he said that. I think he said you can't get in because of what you're wearing.
Yeah, which means
yeah,
only City fans.
But yeah, I know that. But it was like you can't get in what you're wearing. I'm like, huh? And I was like, but we're wearing I was wearing a nice jacket. You're wearing a jersey. Like it was fine.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's because it's Manchester United.
Yeah.
You can't get in.
Yeah.
City only. And I'm like, what the fuck, cunt?
So we were fuming because we didn't know where else to go.
And plus we went all the way into the city from Penrith.
Yeah. So we walked past this corner bar, and it was chockers.
Mate, couldn't get in.
It was the smallest bar ever.
It's like World Bar or whatever.
World Bar or something. Bro, so small there. Like
yeah, and the little bar downstairs, it's tiny.
You're holding someone's cock in there for real.
100%.
100%. And that's the thing. It was mostly blokes in there. So
yeah, we
didn't want any to bar that. But luckily, across the street. Good old Scruffy Murphy's.
Scruffy Murphy's, mate.
We went in there, and apparently that's a Man United bar.
It is a Man United bar.
They had I can't remember what year jersey it was. I think it was.
They have a few jerseys. I went there recently.
It was with the Chevy. It was with the Chevy badge. I think. So maybe 2014, 2015 season, I think. And that was a lit night. Absolute scenes in Scruffy Murphy's.
Yeah.
Crazy scenes. Like absolute scenes.
Actually crazy scenes. Like
when we were 2-0 up at halftime, we were mental.
Yeah, we were on
one.
We were on a few. But
anyway, we were definitely fucking on a few. When Garnacho scored that goal, scenes.
I know.
Scenes.
Remember the chants and that as well, just in this pub. This pub was going off.
It was crazy to see like the support of, like I know Premier League clubs get big support in other countries, but like when you really deep it, like it's insane. But there was a fucking shit ton of English blokes there. We actually made mates with them.
We did make mates
Ollie
with them.
and James, I think.
Oh, what was the other cunt's name?
I don't know. I feel bad. But we kicked on after the game. Went to the casino. Yeah, and they were with us. And yeah, it was. I don't know. It was good.
One of them when he walked through, because they mustn't have shit like that in England. I don't think. So we went to Star.
Yeah, we went to Star Casino. Yeah,
and we walked through, and I don't know if anyone's been to Star, but you probably have. But the big revolving door as you go in. So you go through security, then you go through the revolving door, and he comes out, and I just remember he looks at me, he goes, "Is this fucking Vegas in here, mate?"
Yeah, it's just fucking Vegas in here, man.
He goes, "This is fucking metal."
Yeah, it was very funny.
It was so good. And then what did we do? We ended up just chilling there until we could get the train home.
Yeah, what a long night.
Yeah, it was a long night.
But I think a very monumental moment in our friendship.
Oh, 100%. That's like what cemented my love for Manchester United.
Yeah, it was a good night. And for me to finally experience, I've been a lifetime United supporter, but wasn't really into it until the 2020 Euros. So, and that was when Manchester City lost the Champions League final to Chelsea.
Nice.
1-0.
Fuck yeah.
And then Chelsea became this overrated club. Anyway.
Yeah, they did.
So it was great to experience that, with my best mate. And yeah, it was scenes.
It was scenes.
We are planning to go to England.
We are. We want to do England and then fly over to America and do Baltimore. Yeah. In the one trip.
Yeah. Which would be
if we do Old Trafford at M&T Bank Stadium in the one trip, I think I'll actually come.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's actually crazy.
Oh, but I will come.
No, no stiffy, just straight nut.
Yeah. Flaccid nut. That's crazy.
It is crazy. But
we need to wrap this shit up. Yeah, we need to get to the gym.
The mental health part took a long time.
It did, but that was important.
No, it was very important.
I'm glad we've ended on like a light note. It's good. But remember, guys, for anyone struggling, I have left the links below in the description. Yep. I'll also put them on the Spotify thing as well, like in the description, underneath the episode description. Fucking get amongst it. If you need help, fucking seek help.
Yep.
Don't feel like a weak cunt because you're not a weak cunt, all right? You're a strong motherfucker.
Yeah, I know it's like a massive slogan around the country, but it really isn't weak to speak at all. And you don't have to speak to everyone about it.
Yeah.
Just seek that professional help, and you only got to speak to them, really.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if you want to inform other people, go ahead. But
and if you have support like I do with Jack, then lean on it. Use it. Because
it shouldn't be a secret. Like, that's not what it is. Like
Well, that's what I made the decision. Like, on the day I went to the GP, I was like, I can either keep quiet about this, and no one will ever know, really. Or I can be a voice to help other people.
For others, 100%.
And that's what I'd rather be. And I'm putting myself out there in hope that someone else listening feels less alone, and like if they're going through a similar situation, that they can also go and do what I've done. And also, just to anyone who is struggling, I will say this now, and I actually fucking mean it, unlike so many people, but my inbox literally is always open. Please DM me either on the Speak Free page or my own personal Instagram or whatever. If you've got my number, fucking please message me. I'm here to talk about it. I would love to talk about it. Like Jack said, I'm a fucking yapper, and I will not disregard your message whatsoever.
100%.
So, yeah.
I just lost a thought. I was going to say something really good, but I lost it. As Matt was saying, like, he could either be a voice for others or, not necessarily hide it. Pardon me. But not choose to speak about it. And it's not wrong to not choose to speak about it. But
if it's a journey you want to go through
alone
on your own, or just with close people,
just,
then by all means do it.
But
I'm lucky enough to have a platform where I can,
speak out.
Something.
Yeah, but to speak out about it is a huge thing to do, because you put yourself in a weak light. You're exposing yourself a lot, and it was a hard thing for you to do, and you will get cunts out there that are like, he's only doing it for attention.
Oh, 100%.
But which is why we're here today speaking about it, because it's not for attention. It was to be a voice to say that, yet you, of all people, are suffering.
Yeah, and trust me when I say, to anyone that talks shit, I simply do not give a fuck.
Haters will hate no matter what you fucking do.
I honestly, it's water off a duck's back at this point. I've had everyone say everything about me.
Water off a duck's back? Crazy.
Have you not heard that saying? Really? Have you not heard that saying before? It's like unaffected.
Yeah, unaffected, yeah.
Because it's like unaffected.
Water off a duck's back.
Water off a duck's back, mate.
Simple as that.
Yeah. But, I will cop 100 people saying I did it for attention if I could help one person. So whatever. But definitely didn't do it for attention. If I wanted to do that, if I wanted to get attention, I'd just get, I don't know, me tits out or something.
Crazy. Yeah.
No, I don't think anyone would want to see that either. I don't think
also
that would get me attention.
When Matt did post about that, it was good to see that there is others that do care. And obviously,
I had a lot of messages that night, and it was great. Like people telling me their stories as well.
100%, and that's what it's all about. Being able to speak to anyone about it whenever you're comfortable to do that. Like it's hard. So it was great.
Thank you, brother.
No worries.
I'm
proud of you for that.
Thank you, bro. And thank you for your support.
Always.
I truly mean that.
I know.
So. All right, guys. That's actually crazy. Number 1 done.
With the shit dribblers.
They were with the shit dribblers. We are the shit dribblers. Look out for more On the Streets content. We're going to get some content tonight at the game.
Yep.
Fucking, there'll be more episodes of this for sure.
100%.
But the next time hopefully won't be too serious. There'll be a lot more shit talking.
It will be a lot more shit talking, which is what the intended plan was.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we spoke about the mental health. So.
And also, I'm not sure when this episode will come out yet.
No.
But likely it'll come out very close to the US election.
Yep.
So just to everyone, go Trump, motherfucker. Fuck you, Kamala. Trump, 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 Trump. Anyway.
Trump.
Remember, guys, speak free with MattyG.